Hi, this is Mr. Krasnoff with a tutorial on different Gale products, including Gale Virtual Reference Library and GaleTexQuest. These are databases that are found on the H.P. Scotch Library website on the online resources page. You'll see them under different places. The first one I'm going to talk about is Gale Virtual Reference Library, which is under the reference collection, and the second one will be TexQuest Gale, which is under the general databases. When it comes to reference, that word really is a buzzword that librarians use, meaning it's a good place to start. This assumes that you don't already know very much about your subject. And so that's going to be the place that we start first, which is, okay, Gale Virtual Reference Library. This is really a collection of books that happen to be ebooks, and they're all searchable. Okay, so I'm going to pretend I'm researching the common cold, and if your condition that you are researching will almost certainly be in here, so just go ahead and search for just that. Don't add any extra search terms. Okay, you'll see that the results are different books, and they have different levels. So the first one is actually from a source that has 1,615 words, so it's a more detailed source, and the second one is very similar, but it's a much shorter article. Usually I'm going to go with the longer article, so I'm going to click on that first one, and I will kind of point out a few useful things about these ebooks. Once the article displays, you'll see that the top includes words to know. These are really useful, and you can find these terms may be useful in future searches. So you'll see colds are actually caused by different viruses. Coronavirus and rhinovirus are two of those terms. The other thing I want you to look at are the headings. The headings don't just help you read the article, they also help you maybe identify keywords that you might not have thought of. Description probably isn't one of them. Causes maybe, symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, alternative treatment, prognosis, and prevention. So those are just good ideas to look at for future searches. With these ebooks, one thing that is great about them, of course, is their citability. You just click on the citation tool, and that will automatically just give you a copy and paste citation that you can use in your bibliography for research. Okay, you can also do different things like email and save them to folders, but I won't get into that. Okay, so assuming you've already done your basic research, getting your background knowledge of your condition, the next step might be to explore the topic further using the GaleTexQuest. One thing I should tell you is that GaleTexQuest includes everything in Gale Virtual Reference Library, but it's much different in the way it works, and it also has a lot more information. Okay, so let's just look at a search using rhinovirus. That was one of the search terms we picked up, and then we'll try the word prevention. That was another one that we gathered from the headline. Now this may or may not be a useful search, but I'm just kind of modeling how to kind of conduct research. I'm going to do a later tutorial about search terms where we'll get more into that. Okay, for some reason the Gale Power Search no longer brings up academic journals as their main search. It brings up magazines, and these search results here are usually not as good, and they're not as what your teacher usually wants. So you want to narrow the search using the sidebar academic journals link. The main purpose of using TexQuest for this search is to find academic journals. Okay, now it pays to look at these results very carefully. The first results are not always the best results because you may not understand them. Now here's one this is a full text report called Prevention and Treatment of the Common Cold, Making Sense of the Evidence. This looks exactly like the article I'm looking for, so I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to assume I don't have time to read this online, but I'm going to just say this looks to me like a really good article, and that has kind of the latest findings about how to prevent the rhinovirus that causes the common cold. So I think I'm pretty satisfied with these results. Again, I can cite this and email it very easily. But there's a few more things I want to show you before I end this. One, if you don't like your results, you may want to add more limiters. Okay, some of the limiters you might find are, well, full text we've already done. That's kind of automatic and very important. You can also click on the peer-reviewed journals link, which is, I think, a very good limiter to have. Peer-reviewed just means that it's reviewed by more scientists and therefore more reliable. The other things that you could do are limit to certain publication dates. If you only want the most recent stuff, you could click on past year, or you can specify if you want to go back a few years, you can do that as well. You can also look at subject headlines, like if you brought up different rhinoviruses cause different illnesses, and if you just wanted to limit to the common cold, you can do that. I would only do that, again, if your search results aren't very good. Okay, so that's really the basic features that I think are important about these two products, and I do recommend them for starting points. Now, as far as searching the library databases, you're going to need to learn a few tricks about search terms, and that's going to be the topic of my next tutorial. So please tune in to that one and enjoy.